Let's see if I can be an 80 to 1 shot and win something tonight, right? There we go. All right, happy Tuesday. Let's see if we have some 5x5s. Get my computer screen up so I can see you guys. Here I come. Finley the dog. Boy, look at that. You are quick. All right. And Robert tailing right behind. Couple Mary. All right, good deal. All right, so you guys can hear me, see me. Hopefully we don't have any hiccups in the video tonight because I did remember to put it on 4G and off my Wi-Fi, so we'll get that going, and that's good. So, all right. So I'm a little sore, a little sunburned, but good news: the pond is done being dug, I guess, digged. There you go. English there, Pinball. So Mrs. P and I spent the day going through the yard because we had all the topsoil spread out and everything like that. So we were picking up all the roots and all the rocks and load after load after load of stuff to burn or stack or get rid of or do whatever. So, and then started a little bit with some of the seed and the straw. So got to get that done quick because it's going to rain this weekend and I don't want to have a whole bunch of pond walls collapse and fill the damn thing up. So I got to get something in there, hopefully keep some erosion down. But so that was the life on the homestead today. And so tomorrow will be more of the same, but at least it's nice weather. So that was good. All right. So two things in the monologue here I want to talk about tonight. The first one's short. Anybody catch Lori Lightfoot out of Chicago today? She's basically calling for an insurrection because of the Supreme Court leak. She's now calling on the LGBTQ group to take up arms and fight back. You know, nothing like the mayor of the city with the most murders in it telling people to grab a gun. Nobody ever said she was intelligent, but then again, she is a Democrat, so nobody would ever expect her to be intelligent. All right, but the big one, and this one I want to go into a little bit. I got a bunch of emails this afternoon, and I guess there was a story put out again on this whole WHO treaty where they're going to take charge in any sort of pandemic, and all the countries in the world are going to sign over their medical decisions to the WHO and all that. Okay, now I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'm going to qualify that very quickly. It's just utter and complete bullshit. All right, I'm going to tell you why. First off, the head of the WHO isn't even a freaking doctor. So I'm sorry, but it's going to be kind of interesting if you have medical decisions made for the world by somebody who's not even a doctor, who's a corrupt bureaucrat, who's got his hands in the cookie jar with China. No, yeah. I mean, let's talk about all the bribes that they've already found him to take. So, yeah, so I wouldn't count on that being all sorts of pertinent. But the thing is this, and Mrs. P and I were talking about this afternoon, is, you know, this is kind of the prelude to a one world government. Let's see how this one flies. One world, medical decisions in case there is another pandemic. Gee, I wonder what the plan is next. But I want everybody to stop and think about this for a second. This is where I have huge problems with this. First off, we have that little thing here, at least in the United States, called the Constitution, all right, that says we are independent, okay, that we are not beholden to anybody. Now, I could care less about a treaty or anything like that. Whatever Joe Biden signs does not supersede the Constitution. Nothing, okay? Sorry, he can sign an executive order. If it's unconstitutional, it doesn't go anywhere, okay? But that's not even the biggest issue I have with this. This is, like I said, the prelude to a one world government, right? Let's see how they can do it on one thing, and then we'll go forward with that. Now, here's my problem. We want to have one person, one body, if you will, make the decisions for everybody in the world. We're going into lockdown, so the entire world is going to be in lockdown, right? Okay. How in the world are you going to enforce that? You know, somebody say, oh, the UN, the blue helmets are going to run around. Sure. So the little convenience store here in Sharps Chapel, Tennessee, who says this to the lockdowns, they're going to have some blue helmet show up and stand at the door. I mean, how many people do you think there are? I mean, remember, this is a world of 9 billion people. All right. Good luck policing all of them at the same time. Okay. So there's the first problem. There ain't no way in the world you're going to enforce something like that. Here's why it's not going to be enforced in the United States at all. We couldn't get 50 states to do the same thing. How in the world do you think you're going to get 195 countries? I mean, Chicago goes on lockdown. Indiana says, blow it out your posterior. Okay. New York City says masks for all. Tennessee said, no. Okay. We can't get these tiny little pieces of, think of it, most states are roughly the size of a country in Europe. If we can't get if we can't get all these little states to agree and do it, how are you going to get 7 continents of people to do it? Not going to happen. All right. So there's that. But the reason why, and this is why I think this is all fear porn and all this sort of stuff. One world government. Okay. Everybody in the world on the same page. Here's why it doesn't work. Whose rules are we going to abide by? Oh, well, it'll be a mishmash of everybody, so we're going to do this. Okay, so let me throw this one by you. Let's compare the United States and Saudi Arabia. Just those two, okay? 193 other countries in the world, but let's just compare those two. Are we going to go by the Saudi rules that, women must be covered from head to toe, and always, if they're going anywhere in the world or, anywhere outside the house, they must be accompanied by a man? Hell, we can't even define what a woman is in the United States, okay? Let alone determine what, at least we have a potential Supreme Court justice who can't define a woman. But, so is that going to fly in the U.S.? I mean, half of you guys are female. I mean, would y'all be completely okay with wearing a burqa and, never leaving the house unless, a man was with you? Well, I guess that means we're not going to use the Saudi rules. No, but let's flip it the other way. Let's say around the world, all women can come and go as they please and get a job and be equal to men and everything like that, right? Just like the United States. See how well that flies in the Middle East. Gee, I don't think the Saudis are going to agree with that one too much. Case closed. Okay. A one world government will never happen because there is no way to put everybody in the world under one set of rules, one set of laws, whatever it would be. Okay. You would have rebellion everywhere because, we're going to take this little piece from Sweden, we're going to take this little piece from Iran, we're going to take this little piece from China, and we're going to take this little piece from Canada. And nobody's happy. What does that lead to? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the whole reason the Second Amendment was written in the first place? Okay. This is why I don't put any stock in this whole chatterbox stuff about the World Health Organization and this treaty and everything like that. Okay. It's great. It's my opinion. You know what opinions are like. Okay. Could I be wrong? Sure. Okay. But logically, no, I don't think I am. All right. And if I am wrong, all I can do is say this. Hey, World Health Organization, I don't give a rat's ass what you do say. I will leave my house anytime I damn well please. Period. Okay. That's it. So, end the story on that one. So we'll see what happens with all of this. But you know, before everybody freaks out over this, and like I said, I got a bunch of emails today on this. What was it? The Independent Sentinel or something like this. I mean, these are organizations that I've never even heard of that are reporting this. I have yet to see that this story on any, I don't want to say mainstream because nobody believes that. I don't want to say reputable because the mainstream media isn't reputable. I haven't seen it on any media source that I have any faith in yet. Let's put it that way. Okay. So we'll see what happens there. All right. There's my thoughts for the night. Joy. All right, so let's get into Q&A here. Oh God, how's it? Naked HD XYZ. Yeah, I mean just your name. Goodbye. Let's get into Q&A. Let's keep it PG-13, not unlike that moron. Okay, guys, please have a little respect for the people that are in the chat here. If you're new, we keep this clean. Okay, PG-13. I'm going to say things that your teenagers have heard before. Your 6-year-old probably doesn't need to be in the room, okay? Because every once in a while I get a hair salty. And I try to keep it tame, all right? But sometimes for emphasis, I will. One thing we will not put up with whatsoever is anybody browbeating, insulting, whatever, anybody in the live stream, anybody on the channel for that matter. Okay. Disagreement is totally fine. Okay. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. Never have. Mrs. P doesn't agree with me 100% of the time. If you're going to disagree, that's fine. Just be polite about it and state your case and we'll move on. And I'll be happy to have a conversation. But when you started off, you're an effing idiot, goodbye. Okay. That's it. So that's where we kind of go from there. So thank you to my moderators, which would be Lucky Dame, Lorna, Jacob, Robert, and North Shore, who again take time out of their day to police the riffraff and show them the door with a big boot. That's it. So thank you. And Lorna, while you're at your grandson's ball game doing double duty, that's going above and beyond, but thank you. So, all right, as per normal on YouTube, if you got questions for me, please put them in all caps. You know, I encourage you guys to have conversations amongst each other. Just do me a favor, keep it all in lowercase, and we'll go from there. Terry, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Keep the channel going. So, all right, let me get to the top here, and we will see what we got. Well, let's see how far. I got to actually go quite a bit. All right, where are we? Okay, first one, Beth Elliott. How do you get rid of spider mites? Easiest thing to do with that is take a little bit of dish soap, like Dawn or something, liquid dish soap, and put it in water. You know, make a diluted solution of soap and just spray your plants with it. Okay, spider mites usually you can have them in your indoor plants. So just put it in an old Windex bottle or something like that. Spray it with a little bit of soapy water. Won't hurt your plants whatsoever. Kill spider mites. Han Solo, can the Security Council block UN involvement? Good question. I don't have an answer to that one. I don't know if they could. I can't see why they couldn't, but I don't know if they can. I don't have an answer for that one. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Mama Bear, hey, Mr. Pinball, I got really bad poison ivy. Witch hazel, cortisone cream, and Benadryl cream. Ugh. Yeah, I get it too, and none of those do me squat. That's it. I mean, I can, witch hazel, I tried everything. I mean, oatmeal baths, it was funny when we were out today picking up everything, and we were picking up roots and everything like that. You figure plowing, digging, so you're getting the underside of the plants. And we were doing it for about a half an hour, and Mrs. P says to me, she goes, "There might be poison ivy roots in here." Okay. So I was instantly upstairs in the shower, washed from head to toe with Dawn, and changed clothes. And then she continued picking up all the woody product, and I picked up rocks. So that was how we did it, just because she's one of those people that can touch poison ivy, no big deal. You guys know me, I can look at it and, I'm screwed. But yeah, cortisone, Benadryl, nothing like that. I mean, I get poison ivy, give me the prednisone, forget it, I'm done. I can take oatmeal baths. I'm going to try the jewel weed soap if I get it again, just for the simple reason is an SHTF. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get prednisone. So, I'll stockpile as much as I can wherever I can get it. But, that's why 2 is 1 and 1 is none. I got to have something. Other than that, it's just going to be me be miserable for 2 weeks and hopefully not hospitalized. Brad Lisk, bankers make the rules. Well, close. He who has the cash makes the rules. If everybody took their money out of the banks, the banks have no power over you guys. That the power, and again, this is biblical. The power the banks have over you is you've borrowed money, and the borrower is a slave to the lender. And there's the thing. The banks know that, and so they make you their slave. If you don't owe the bank any money, there's nothing. They have no power over you. I mean, I told you the story when I paid off the mortgage, and they did everything they could before giving me the payoff figure. Well, why don't you do this? Well, we'd suggest you, keep the money, keep your mortgage, and invest in this and what. Like, just give me the figure. I'm paying it off, and we're done. But figure, end of story. This is it. They knew they lost control of me, and that scares the crap out of them. Okay. All right, I don't know the context of this one, but Angry Homesteader says maybe I'll walk around just in their underwear. Okay. Don't know the context of that one. Colorado Prepper, we can't define a woman unless it's about a woman's right to choose. Yeah, that's the truth, But that's typical leftist mentality. You can't do anything until they have something specific, and then then it's crystal clear. But other than that, it's written in mud. It's just no. Sorry. Karen Tomur, I refused to wear a burqa when I was in the service, and I'm not about to change my mind here at home. Damn straight, Not that anybody ever tried to get me to wear one, but I totally respect you for that. North Shore, 1 cuss earns a boot. No. No. Okay. That's not, we don't go that far. Mike Duncan Sr., it only works if there's a major, I'm assuming that means war, and lots of people died. Then they'll try a one world government. It's not, like I said, there's no way to try it. Under whose rule? I mean, the only way you'd have a one world government is if there was a major war and that one country took over the world, and now all of a sudden everybody was under Chinese law or something. That's the only way possible. It's not, it could never be done peacefully, because I don't know about you, I'm not giving up any of my rights to go say, yup, you know what? Olaf Schultz looks like, a good guy to lead the world for me. And I'm certainly betting that there's probably nobody in any other country in the world who goes, hey, Joe Biden looks like the guy I want to follow. So, yeah, not going to happen. Tinfoil tiara. That's cute. Any thoughts on the influx of illegals to Tennessee in the last 6 months? Influx of illegals to pick a state, okay? This is the problem. I mean, and we're seeing it everywhere. There was a story tonight, This is out in LA, the Gascon, that uh, Soros-backed district attorney, let another illegal go. Oh, what happened? Oh, another murder. Okay. This is the problem. I'm not going into, how they gave Trump all sorts of hell, because they wanted to say he said all Hispanics were rapists and murderers. No, they're not. We know that. Okay. That's patently not false. Or patently false. It's also not what he said. But where's the vetting? Do we know? You can't look at somebody and say, this guy's a criminal. This guy's okay. All right. You know, pick any of these serial, look at Ted Bundy or anything like that, look totally fine, normal day by day, uh, you don't know what he does at night. I mean, John Wayne Gacy, hey, guy was a clown, performed at kids' birthday parties and everything. Okay. Guy was a psychopath. Where's the vetting? There isn't any. Oh, you're Afghani? Great, no problem. Come on into the United States. Oh, you're Ukrainian? Great. Come on into the United States. Oh, you're from Haiti? Great. Come on to the United States. I hate to tell you this. There's criminals in Afghanistan. There's criminals in Ukraine. There's criminals in Haiti. And, let's take Central and South America. Where the hell do you think MS-13's from? Okay. We're not vetting any of these people. So thoughts on influx of illegals to Tennessee? Yeah, it's causing crime to go up, cost of everything to go up, and it's no different than the other 49 states. Nancy Lynn Campbell, did I ever find out what all the hullabaloo was surrounding May 9th? Well, again, like I said, it was all propaganda crap, made up by the media trying to get clicks or whatever. Oh, Putin's going to declare war on Ukraine on Victory Day. Again, remember what I told you, VE Day for the Allied nations was May 8th, but because Stalin required the Nazis to sign a armistice in Russia, that happened the next day. So that's why the Russians celebrate victory over Europe on May 9th. And so there was all sorts of crap that Putin was going to make this great declaration of war on one of the proudest days in, on the calendar, for Russians, and it, if you listen to any of his speech, translated, of course, he was a little gruff, but there was nothing about, oh my God, we're going to war or anything like that. I mean, what's a good word for it? Picked on the U.S. quite a bit and NATO, but there was never them's fighting words. Didn't say he's going to war or something like that. So that was what it was, and of course, the media again has egg on their face. Jeanette Elizabeth, this is a really good question. What would you suggest for a portable freezer fridge in case the power goes out? I will be able to tell you that later this week because I got a surprise coming for you again. It's exactly that. So we'll see how that one comes. Elliot got with me. There's a new product they've got, which is actually a solar powered cooler, freezer, refrigerator, or something like that. And he wants me to test drive it for him. And yes, there's going to be a giveaway for one of you guys too. But I looked at the thing I thought that would be most beneficial was for medicines that have to stay cold, especially, insulin, or you get, I know there's been medicines that my daughter had to have where had to stay refrigerated or whatever. It's a little bigger than that, but that was something that I think it's supposed to be here Thursday, so I'll probably do the review. Probably be up Saturday sometime, be my guess, Saturday or Sunday. So probably next Tuesday we'll have a giveaway on a live stream. Whoops. We shot up to the top. Okay. Somebody asked something about a pond liner. I'm sorry, is it shot up? No, we don't have to put a pond liner in. Packed all the clay down. I got all this good red clay, and we got heavy rain here the other day. What was it, last Thursday or whatever? Pond held water. There's still water in it. No problem. So it's holding water fine. Ginger Gal, Pinball, any prepping suggestions for a woman now in a divorce situation moving forward? Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Divorce is never fun. You know, that I don't know how to answer it. I mean, I've been through a divorce, but I'm a guy, so I can't really relate to the woman side of things. I don't know kids involved, finances, house, anything like that. You know, the best thing I would say to do is, keep doing what you were doing. And, if the only way I'd say maybe you change something up is if you're going to be the one leaving the marital house, because packing all the preps is going to be difficult. So maybe you don't want to add more, but then on the other side of me says, yeah, but if it's 2 months, 3 months, 6 months till you're in your house yourself, now what? Is the dollar store the now the $2 store? So yeah, that I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer that question. I can't. I don't relate to it, so it's not something that I can say I've been through. So I don't have any experience being a woman. Sorry, Joe Biden. I still stand up to pee. For the doggies guitars, boy, I haven't heard from you in a while. Welcome back. Did you hear the book Glenn Beck put out called The Great Reset? No, I haven't. But yeah, glad it woke your mother-in-law up though. Jay Myers says poison ivy. I use bleach. Tried that too. Didn't do anything. Deb Martin, Pinball, just purchased my third EcoFlow Delta 1300. Any suggestions for good solar panels? I used the portable ones, and I used the 12C-VAN, TWELSEAVAN 120 watt panels that you can get on Amazon. The reason I like the portable panels better than the hard panels are cheaper. I'll give you this, okay? With the hard panels, now you've got to build some sort of structure or whatever, and you've got to put the panels on, and the panels are going to be facing that way, and they're going to be stuck like that, okay? As the days move along, the sun gets lower in the sky, your panels aren't going to be as effective. That's why I like the angle of the sun is going to matter. And when it's middle of summer, middle of winter, if you guys saw that from high to low, you can't adjust those unless you've got some real intricate panels, frame put together. The other thing is, if you need to bug out, your generators are totally useless to you if you have hardwired or hard panels, because they're permanently mounted. If you've got at least some of the portable panels, those you can take with you, whatever you need to do. So that's my plan. I know a lot of people, hey, I told you guys, I thought about putting them on the roof. I went back and forth, decided against it, went with the portables. That's just how I decided to do it. Doesn't mean it's my way. It doesn't mean it's the only way. One Woof, is weed vine, poison ivy, or similar? I'm not sure I don't know what weed vine is. Unless poison ivy is called something. Obviously I don't know where you're from. So if poison ivy is called something different in a different country, I'm not sure. But poison ivy, you'll see 3 leaves on it, and it's got a substance in it called urushiol that is some people, me, are highly sensitive to, and it causes all the little bumps and everything like that, and extremely itchy, oozes, and just nasty to look at. DMV, how do you get rid of carpenter bees? This is kind of funny because when we were done today and I was in the last bit of sprinkling some of the seed in, I was sitting on the front porch playing with Daphne, throwing her ball, and the carpenter bees are out. Okay. And we get them here. I mean, it's, you know, log sided home. So, it's a wooden house. And the carpenter bees are all over the place. So if you've ever seen one of these things that you throw a tennis ball for the dog, it's like a plastic stick. It's about, this big. I forget what it's called, but it's just. So I'm holding this thing. I'm throwing Daffy's tennis ball to her, everything. Carpenter bee comes by. I've got this thing in my hand. There's swat. Got him with this thing. Dead carpenter bee right on the ground there. There's 3 more buzzing. So now I'm on the hunt with the dog toy, the thing to throw a dog ball. Smack, 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 smack. Got 4 carpenter bees with it. Fortunately, carpenter bees are pretty stupid. Okay. They just kind of hover in one spot and you go thwack and they're dead, So that was it. But I've got the carpenter bee trap that one of y'all sent me. And I took off the plastic peanut jar and I put on a mason jar in it. That's caught a carpenter bee. If you ever seen those, looks like kind of like a birdhouse with a hole in the bottom and put a jar on the bottom. Bee flies in there, goes in the hole in the bottom, trying to figure a way out. Now he's trapped. So I've caught one in there. But yeah, that's the one product that we have found that is very good. It's something called Viper, Viper. It's a spray that you spray on the house, and it makes the wood not attractive to the bees. So, again, go on Amazon, look that up, Viper, and it's about $35 for a quart of it or something like that. And you mix it in a 2-gallon sprayer or whatever and spray down. But that we have found is effective. Montana Grizz fan, hello from Montana. Listening to you on the internet as I plant in my garden. And well, considering it's what, 5:30? Yeah, that's the one thing I always figure. It's like, all right, the summertime's here, and we're early for most people. I mean, it's 8:00, but I mean it's still light out. It's like, all right, y'all go do your thing. And in the wintertime, it's like everybody's pitch black by this point. But right now, it's like, hey, it's nice weather out, the sun's still up. I got work to do. It's like, okay, that's what replays are for. Huffy Prepper, I just bought lean ground round at an Amish butcher. Pinball, I just bought lean ground round at an Amish butcher shop for $4.99 a pound. That's, ground round for $4.99 a pound right now. That is a good deal. And Palmer says, have had kale growing still from the winter garden. Look normal Sunday. Today the leaves look like lace. What do you think happened? You got eaten. I would look on the underside of the leaves. That sounds like you got hit with cabbage worms, would be my guess. Okay, and kale being another cold weather crop. If you're going to find probably 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick worms, about that long, big fat, look the same color as the leaf. That's what I got. I bet you got cabbage worms. Get yourself some BT. If you, again, put in the search for caterpillar killer, and you'll find BT. That's what you're looking for. I'd show you the bottle, but mine's outside. Vision preparedness. Have I tried the Benadryl gel? Yep. Trust me, I tried everything. The craziest solutions, the plantain, the coffee grounds. I mean, you name it. I've tried it for poison ivy. It's just, forget it. It gives me a little bit of relief, but I mean, even taking the prednisone, it still takes 2 weeks for me to get rid of this stuff. Caladrill does not work at all for me. It just makes a mess. But thank you, Susie. Janet Nice, will we have a Great Depression by 22-23 due to all the food shortages? That wouldn't cause a depression. Remember, depression is going to be economic. And if we had, I mean, could we have hyperinflation because of it? Yes. Could then the hyperinflation cause a depression? Yes. So it may be one thing leads to another, but the food shortage won't cause the depression, but the food shortage could cause something else that causes a depression. Okay. So we'll see what happens, but all these people that are saying, oh, don't worry about the food. I mean, after the video I put up yesterday with all the links on what other countries are saying, and a few of you said you shared it with people, and oh, it's fear mongering and everything like that. I'm like, that's why I put the links in there. Okay, read the damn articles. It wasn't just what I'm saying. This is what governments are saying. So I guess people think the governments are fear mongering too. When they're calling for famine and all. But there's going to be a whole lot of people in about 3 months that are going to really be in for a shock when food prices add on another 10, 20, 30%. And, the store starts looking like, we're living in the Soviet Union in 1989. Yeah, there's going to be people, what the hell happened? And we're all going to be sitting there going, been trying to tell you, you didn't want to listen. And no, you can't have any of mine. Wanda, thank you for the super chat, or super sticker, actually. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, okay. This reminded me of something. Jay Myers says the orange citrus grease cleaner for your hands works very well on poison ivy. Okay, that I could see if you catch it early, because again, you're talking about the same concept as putting Dawn on. Is you're dissolving that urushiol. So that I'd believe. But this brings up a question because somebody sent me an email the other day. Jeff Welch sent this, and I don't know if Jeff's here. If he's not, he's probably going to watch the replay. But he sent me an email. He says, I'd like to beg you to ask the group on Tuesday night if anyone has ever grown or has experience with trifoliate orange trees. I'm in zone 5 and the YouTube channels say it's hardy enough, but before I spend close to $1,000 on 15 trees, a few words of wisdom from someone else in the northern tier might be invaluable. So if you've ever grown something that's called a trifoliate orange tree, and you're zone 5 or above, which would be what? Probably Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, probably Denver North, that sort of stuff. Please make a comment if you ever have that helped Jeff out there. Sorry, Jeff, I forgot about it, but somebody mentioned orange and that rang a bell. Okay. For Tudine Farm, okay. Thoughts on all the crazy weather, droughts in some places and floods in others. Grand solar minimum. I've talked about this many times. Anybody who doesn't believe the grand solar minimum has got their head up the climate change posterior. Grand solar minimum is factual. Okay, anything. Somebody had mentioned the other day they were down in Florida and could see the northern lights one night. Okay, what's the effect of that? That's from the grand solar minimum. You see all these stories on solar flares and everything. That's what's going on, guys. That's what's affecting the weather. Now, the other thing that's affecting the weather is the complete mismanagement of the world by our governments. You've got HARP. As much as they love to say HARP was dissolved in 2015, we all know that's bullshit. Okay. And then you get all the other problems on how mismanagement has affected the weather patterns. Forest fires in California every year over and over and over again because of management of the forest. Yes, that will eventually change the weather patterns. all the wind farms running down in Texas, and so they had to change the weather patterns. Yeah, I mean, this grand solar minimum and man-made screw-ups, not driving your car. And as Norfolk, it looked great in a burqa. Yeah, there you go. Well, I got a face for radio. So, let's see. Lisa Prep. See, I agree with you completely. I think there are too many egomaniacs in the world to allow one leader. Exactly. Let's just take two. Let's take Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. Which one of them do you think is going to be totally fine answering to the other? How about, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Kamala Harris? Joe doesn't know what planet he's on. Can you see any of them going, oh, okay, fine. You know what? I have to answer to the president of Ethiopia? No problem. My 5 pence. Okay. Previous question. It's not got to do about the Council of 300. I don't understand the concept of your question or the context. I'm sorry. Matthew Cutillo in my best Dracula accent. Good evening. Hey, Suze, wait, how do I know I got the right plumbing fittings at Home Depot? Hell if I know. Put it on the pipe you're trying to fix. Romy Davis says, that's why I carry all day, every day. Yes, good idea. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you carry 99% of the time, guaranteed. The one time that you need it, you don't have it. Okay, 100%. If you don't carry 100% of the time, why bother? Christopher Rasmini, diesel hit $6.99 today just outside Boston. In what world does this end well? Yeah, I was in town today, obviously getting grass seed and stuff, and it was $5.40 a gallon here for diesel, and still I find that insane. $6.99. Jim had sent me an email from Canada saying up in Canada it's $9 a gallon for diesel. I'm assuming that's Canadian money. And even at that, that's still about $8 a gallon in US dollars. So yeah, I mean, like I said to you guys the other day, truckers are turning down loads because it's costing them money to take it. When everything they're getting from the freight broker has to go to put fuel in the truck to get from point A to point B, they're like, I don't work for free, so screw it, And so what's that going to do? It's going to cause freight costs to go up, which guess who pays for those? You, because the price of whatever you want to buy goes up. This is again why everybody says get ready to start bartering. You're going to need everything local. You're not going to go to the grocery store and buy avocados from Mexico. You're going to buy whatever fruit is available in whatever area of the country you live in. Sorry, I'm not going to get avocados in Tennessee. That's it. I'm not going to get pineapples. So, Godsmack 12, please say hello to Frostproof Florida. Hello, Frostproof Florida. Cynthia Dedge, why are my Dixon onions getting bulbs on top? Zone 7. Are you talking bulbs on top of the green stems? Cut those off. It's trying to bolt. It's trying to go to seed. So, cut those off, and anytime you see those, get rid of those right away. You might, because as soon as that happens, the plant is going to spend all its energy trying to flower and seed. You want it to put its energy into still making your onion bulb. So, scissors. Juju Biju. Juby Biju. There we go. How do I get seed potatoes from my potato harvest? We are new gardeners. Okay, so when you harvest your potatoes, you got to store them for the year. I did a video a year or so ago on how to build a cheap root cellar. Works fine. Dig a hole in the ground, put a trash can in there. And I mean, that's what I use. Okay. And this year when we harvested our potatoes, I think in July of last year, and I planted them, about a month ago, I guess it was, 1st of April, thereabouts. So pulled out my potatoes out of there. I mean, yeah, they had some stems on them and stuff like that. It's fine. I still planted them, everything. But you're just going to save some of the potatoes you have. You just need to save them in a cool, dark place. That, like, the reason why I do it underground is because it stays a constant temperature. And just the potatoes that you have grown this year will be some of your seed potatoes for next year. That's all it is. Jennifer McIver, best natural bug away. Squash plants have teeny bugs. If they're teeny bugs and they're green, I'm betting you have aphids. So the best natural thing at that point would be get some ladybugs. And yes, believe it or not, you can go to Tractor Supply and buy a little thing of ladybugs. If not, I mentioned this about, a year and a half ago. Jerry Baker is an author. He's passed on now, but he has a book called Terrific Garden Tonics. And the book's a good inch thick of all sorts of different mixtures that you can make out of household items. It may be, and I'm just making this up for this particular, but it could be, I don't know, brown sugar, vinegar, and beer. And that would be, what to get rid of aphids or whatever it would be. You can usually find that book online. I was funny last time because people were finding it for $1, at a used bookstore or whatever it would be, but that book is a godsend for finding home remedies for a lot of stuff, and again, like I've said many times, you got to learn these home remedies, because when ortho is no longer there and 7 is no longer there and you can't buy your pens here. Okay. I stopped for a second. I hope you guys are still here. So, okay. Okay, see buffering. Can somebody give me a 5x5 and let me know that you're back? Yep, there we go. Lucky Dean did. Okay, yep, good. Okay, I saw it too on my screen. Okay. Let's see where I was. Because I went all the way to the bottom. This is as far as I can get back, so let's see. TK, I like when Pinball gets angry, he cares. Yeah, I do care. This is the thing. Some of the stuff pisses me off. Aaron Nichols, can you turn the heat off here in Texas? It's burning the garden up. Yeah, no kidding. And now you guys are going to be short on power. Good luck. Electric prepper, how long till the food shortage will turn around? Well, let's see. We got to get Biden out of office. We got to get Putin out of Ukraine. We got to get it to start raining again. And the grand solar minimum is supposed to last till 2050. So, yeah, the rest of my life. Plant, you need to be learning how to plant, how to grow, how to can, everything like that. Now, put as much away as you can, because, again, it was funny. It was before the show came on tonight. Mrs. P and I were sitting there watching Danny's porch time this morning on Deep South Homestead. That tells you how behind I am. We were sitting there watching that at 7 o'clock tonight. And he was talking about raising his sweet potatoes and planting 600 sweet potato slips. And I'm thinking, can you imagine how many freaking sweet potatoes that is? Okay, but they eat sweet potatoes every day. But that's kind of the deal. It's like he's doing it right. Plant as much as you can now, because you don't know if you're going to be able to plant at all next year. So what you think is 1 year's worth of food may have to be 2. What happens if, I don't know, pick something. There is a, great Dust Bowl drought next year and nothing grows or whatever. You never know what's going to happen. So, you got to do as much as you can now while you can, because there's one day that somebody's going to shut the light switch off. And at that point, you're done. So, Autumn West, I guess this is on Carpenter Bees. Badminton racket or tennis racket works too. Yeah, I can see that. Be a little easier than a dog toy. Let's see. Jeez, Anthony Garcia. I just spent $75 on 2.5 Walmart bags of food, basic food at that. Yeah, just crazy. Montana Grizz fan. I could not plant most seeds before today, as last night and morning it was 34 degrees in Montana. I've said it many times. As beautiful as Montana is, I'm glad we didn't move there. And no offense to Idaho either, beautiful there as well. But I'd be going nuts if it was middle of May and I'm not in my garden by now. Dale Drake, weather manipulation is also factual. Yep, that's what I said. You know, they can say they shut off HARP all they want, though we know they didn't. I mean, they've flat out said they're changing the weather patterns so Texas can get more wind, so they can get more wind power. Northwoods Mama, I wonder how much of the mismanagement was intentional. Pretty much all of it, okay? Some of it is stupidity, okay? But a lot of it is, you know, planned chaos, planned catastrophe, and then go, oh, I don't know how this happened, but I have a solution, you know, and the solution is always write me a check and, you know, then I'll do something for you. RLRL, what the heck is making large holes in my yard and garden? Now, carpenter bees are going to make holes in your house or your trees. They're going into wood. Large holes in your yard and garden, voles, moles, squirrels. That could be a lot of anything. Gophers, you know, depending on where you are or what you got. You know, again, think of Bill Murray and Caddyshack. That's what you got going on. Just don't use dynamite. Yeah, how to get rid of them. I mean, I know I've got a mole or something. I mean, I know I've got mice out in the yard, stuff like that too. You know, again, the best thing to get rid of those, believe it or not, is a cat. You know, get a cat, let the cat go after them. They're rodents, all right? You know, you have a barn cat or an outside cat, the cat will go find them, you know, and you'll know it because the cat will come and say, look, Dad, here, I got a present for you. So, Flint McRock, the extensive logging of the Amazon rainforest has been the major cause of climate change. And not only the logging of it, but because the deforestation, because they don't have any sort of concept down there of how to replenish the farmland. I mean, the way they farm down there is kind of like the way people farmed in the US in the 20s. They farmed the land until it was dead. And then, oh, okay, so now we got to go cut down some of these trees so we can farm some fresh land. They have no concept down there of composting or rebuilding their soil or letting things rest or cover crops or anything like that. So they go kill more, you know, cut down more trees to make more farmland. And then you've got bare land and less trees. Little Lone Prepper says trifoliate orange can be used for marmalade or candied, but it's not like the juicy sweet oranges. Okay. Oh God, Jen Boyles went down the rabbit hole today of patents for 3D printed food. No, sorry. I'll start pulling weeds out of my yard before I'm eating that crap. Waldo, happy birthday early. Give you that one. Unknown vector, add what's missing, prepper domains, water sources, food, seeds, medical first aid, defense, equipment, communications, off-grid power sources, knowledge, information, mag people, team. You got commo in there, you've got security in there. Food, seeds, water. I would either put entertainment or comfort items in there. Both of those are going to be needed, but I'm betting that's probably not what you're looking for. Susie D, dog food prices are outrageous. NutriBlend for 16 ounces was $18, now 39 for the same. Ugh. That's insane. That's more than double. Suggestions on good brands. I'm not going to be the best help because we've got to feed the dogs the Blue Wilderness or the Blue Buffalo because, like I said, Copper has a food allergy to chicken, which chicken's in almost everything. So we have no choice but to go out for expensive dog food. What happened? Mouse. Try that again. Okay, my mouse just stopped. Why did my mouse stop? Let's try this way. There we go. Okay. Mike Riggins, it's never a good thing when diesel's more expensive than premium. That diesel was when they, for those of you guys who are old enough to remember when they started putting diesels in cars, and being a more popular item. I mean, diesel cars been around forever, but the big push was why you should buy diesel. This was back in the 70s. Was because diesel's cheaper than gasoline. It's easier to make and everything like that. Right. I mean, we haven't seen diesel cheaper than gasoline in at least 30 years. Gina M, my son's a logistics manager, having a hard time getting truckers to accept loads. Yep, I've heard plenty of stories on that. Let's see. Endarkin, as to the carpenter bees and wasps, you can, excuse me, you can use a hand sprayer with mostly water dish soap and about half a teaspoon of peppermint oil. Works pretty fast. I hate it, but it helps. Okay, never heard that. Whoa. Lieutenant Frank Drebin, any chance of renewable electric unicorns? Yeah, I think you can buy those at the Rainbow store, right? Angels arrived. I'm purchasing coffee when on sale and I don't drink coffee. Good bargaining item. Absolutely, that's going to be a good bargaining item. How many people do you know, myself included, do not talk to me before I've had my first cup of coffee in the morning? Motorsports for life on my pond. Am I leaving a native clay bottom or adding a liner? Native clay was fine here. We've got that hard Tennessee red clay, and I mean, you pack that stuff down, it's like concrete, and it held water fine, so no problem. Lori McDonald, Pinball, can we use sardines to make a fertilizer for the garden? Best thing you can do with sardines is just, you don't even need to make anything on them. Just put them right in under the plant. You got a tomato plant, drop one sardine under it. You got a pepper plant, drop one sardine. You got a tree, drop the whole can under there. Okay. But yeah, I mean, just put one, when you're digging your hole, throw a fish in there. It's fine. It's no different than if you're throwing a scoop of fertilizer in there. It's cheaper. I mean, it doesn't even have to be sardines. If I'll give you this, if anybody in the family's fisherman or anything like that, and you get they go fishing, fillet your fish or whatever, you get your perch, your bluegill, your bass, whatever it is, take the heads, take the skin, take the bones, whatever it is, throw them in the freezer. Just put them in a plastic baggie and throw them in the freezer. And then when it's time to go planting, now you use a piece of that fish head or whatever it is. And go that way too. Again, we get into the point where, just like many years ago, a lot of us know these stories from grandparents and stuff, never throw anything away. Trust me, there's uses for everything you got. I'm sorry, somebody just, Mississippi Soldier 369, thank you for the super chat. Just curious why we never voted independent. Actually, I did. I did vote for Ross Perot. I could not stand Bill Clinton, obviously, and I could not stand George Bush. And Ross Perot had the ideas that made sense to me, and that was who we voted for. So for me, it was Reagan, Perot, every Republican afterwards, and I regret voting for McCain and Romney terribly. But look who my option was. Kenyan Prince. Oh crap, it's 1 minute to 9. All right, let me see if I can find one more here and we will get done. Stacy Sheffley, I found a bunch of seeds dating back from 98 to 2021. Do you think they're good? The ones from 90, depending on what they are, some I can tell you, no way. If you got like radish seeds or something like that, no way are they any good. The thing I would do with them, put them in seed trays, put like 3 or 4, little seed trays of each one of them and see what sprouts. If you get none of 4 of something, just throw them out. Okay. The 2021 ones, those are going to be fine. I mean, but this, stuff that's 22, 23 years old at this point, you might get some germination, but I run 3 or 4. I just throw 3 or 4 in the seed tray, see if any of them germinate. If you get one, you're going to have crappy germination, no doubt. But if none of them germinate, just throw the whole pack out. I mean, it's not worth it. So, all right, guys, I believe Angry Preppers goes on at 9 o'clock. So as soon as I get some stuff cleaned up, I'll probably bounce over there. Have a good evening. Pinball out.